Kenya's Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki, has notably transformed from a soft-spoken academic to a more abrasive and combative politician. A change that observers link to the high-stakes atmosphere that comes with the seat he occupies in government. As presidential historians posited elsewhere, a vice president, in Kenya's case, deputy president, is without choice destined to be a lapdog or an attack dog, or better yet, both. And never neither. As Brenda Wanga reports, Professor Kindiki may well be a showcase of that deputy presidential fate in real motion.
Until recently, this was unimaginable of Professor Kithure Kindiki. The law professor was never this high-pitched and seldom raised his voice. He was the urban, mild-mannered gentleman of the soft voice. But in the Mbeere North by-election, Deputy Professor Kindiki was not sparing any decibels.
Wewe Goliathi, wewe ni one-term MP. Wewe Goliathi ni one-term MP. Na uachane na mimi. Ukiendelea kunitusi, wewe mzee, wewe nitakuvua nguo. Wewe nitakuweka aibu.
In Mbeere North, Professor Kindiki fought hard and long. This was a decisive race with consequential outcomes.
Dawa ya maendeleo no. Dawa ya maendeleo no.
As the man who replaced the leader on the opposite side of the campaign as deputy president, Kindiki had his own honor on the line. A loss in Mbeere would mean a loss to Rigathi Gachagua, his predecessor. He would not have had the end of it, not after Gachagua berated him so publicly and so repeatedly.
Mimi nilitangazia nyinyi. Tumefungua hoteli ya Kasongo na Soprano na Ruku.
And so Kindiki had to prove he was no soprano. He went a pitch higher.
Fire, fire. Inoma, ni two times.
Professor Kindiki started off as a Kenyatta-Ruto insider during the crimes against humanity cases at the International Criminal Court ICC, where he was defense counsel for accused number 1, William Ruto, whom he now deputizes as deputy president. Since the ICC cases, Professor Kindiki has never been too far from the center of the Kenyatta-Ruto axis, except when Kindiki fell through the cracks as he was removed as deputy speaker of Senate.
Mr. Speaker, as they were enjoying, as they were making merry, as the deep state was celebrating, as the system was celebrating, suddenly, and I say suddenly, there is going to be a war in this country. There is going to be a writing on the wall. Many, Tekel and Parisi.
The exit debate saw Professor Kindiki change his tone from soft-spoken to something slightly rougher on the edges. Professor Kindiki remained loyal to the then embattled Deputy President Ruto, deftly applying his legal and technocratic energies to the Ruto cause. As chief agent during the 2022 elections, Professor Kindiki was Ruto's quiet force at the Bomas of Kenya, where the race concluded in a literal scrum. Without surprise, Professor Kindiki landed the powerful Interior docket when President Ruto named his cabinet. Interior is traditionally reserved for the most trusted, and Kindiki fitted the bill. At Interior, Kindiki switched his academic suits for the compact jacket and the law books for security briefs.
281.
Then came the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, and the political heavens opened yet again for Professor Kindiki.
I, Kithure Kindiki.
He wasted no time stamping his authority as deputy president, starting with his immediate rural neighborhood, where he adjudged a cabinet secretary out the line.
Unaniambia hapa. Sasa wewe si mbunge tena. Wewe ni waziri. Hiyo mambo umeniambia tunaenda kusukuma na wewe.
But it was in the recent Mbeere North by-election where the final stage of his metamorphosis was revealed. Leading the UDA charm offensive, the professor was unrecognizable. No longer quoting the constitution as he was wont to, he was now throwing political punches.
Rigathi Gachagua nitakuaibisha, wachana na mimi. Omba kura ya Karish, wewe wachana na mimi.
Taking on his predecessors' allies with abrasive village-to-village approach.
Area, bumper to bumper, face to face, man to man, head to head.
From the lecture hall to the political trenches, Kithure Kindiki has traded his chalk for a baton.
As we welcome him.
Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV.